This video is part of a collaboration between the Autism Society of Alabama and the Alabama Regional Autism Network. Hey, my name is Tammy Allison, and I live in Auburn, Alabama. I am a special education teacher for students with special needs in grades kindergarten, first, and second. I work at Dean Road Elementary School in the Auburn City School Systems. Now, that is the professional side of me. Part of the personal side of me is that I have an amazing son, Sam, who was diagnosed at 18 months with autism, and he is now 17. So I have a little bit of both sides of the table to bring to the conversation, the professional teacher side, but also the personal mama side. So hopefully I can give you some little beneficial tidbits as we talk. If your child is diagnosed or has been diagnosed recently or is very young to the school system, they probably have an individualized educational plan or an IEP. And you may be brand new to this process. You may not have yet gone to your first IEP, or maybe you've just come out of your first IEP in the spring, and it was all new to you. If your child is older like mine or has been diagnosed for a while, you've probably gone through several of these IEPs, and you know more about the process, and you know about the members of the team and the roles that they play. Please know that your role in your child's team is crucial as the parent or the caregiver. Crucial member of the team. Now, other members of the team are going to be the special education teacher, the general education teacher, the principal, any special services that your child is receiving, such as speech or occupational physical therapy, even possibly a BCBA, a behavioralist for your child. All of those people are going to be a part of your child's team, and they're all going to bring different aspects of their expertise to the table and different strengths to the table. And so your child's IEP team is all coming together with all of their expertise and all of their strengths, including you with your expertise and your strength related to that child, in order for your child to benefit and to make progress throughout that year. Now, the key component factor that I feel as a parent and as a teacher in order for our children to have success is communication. Communication among that IEP team. Preferably communication among every member throughout the year, but specifically communication between you, the parent, and your child's teacher. Just imagine that at the end of the year, looking back and being able to see progress with your child and improvements with your child. I like to look at my son's educational year and my son's educational day, along with my students in my classroom, as a game. Not in the sense that, oh, it's all fun and games, but in the sense that all of the team members of your child's IEP are coming together in that game for your child to achieve victory and to have a win. Every day your child's going to have a short-term game. Every year, for the entire school year, your child's going to have a long-term game. And we've got to be able to communicate among the players in order for your child and for my student to have a victory and to have a win on the short-term games and on the long-term games. The short-term games, you know, those victories can be, maybe little Sally was able to make it through music class today without having a meltdown, when that has not happened in 2 months. Or maybe she did have a meltdown, but she came out of it quicker. That's a short-term game victory, okay? Maybe little Johnny was able to remember what a 6 looked like, so he was able to do his numbers or to add, subtract. Maybe Sam was able to complete a job skill. Okay, those are short-term game victories, and all of the team players need to come together to celebrate those successes. Okay, the long-term game victories are, looking back over that entire school year. Was that little child, was he able to get potty trained while in school? Was little Sally able to make a friend, or to communicate better with her teacher? All of those things, long-term game victories. Obviously, we want every one of our students and every one of our children to walk out of school on that last day in May with much more progress and much more improvement than they had that first day when they walked in. Okay, so in looking at your child's day and year in that perspective, like a game, can you imagine never talking to the team players? Okay, if you like football or basketball or baseball, just imagine those teams running out on the field at the beginning of the game, and obviously the goal is to win, is to have a victory at the end of that game. Can you imagine those teams running out there and those players never talking and never communicating with each other? Well, they're not going to have a victory at the end. They're not going to have a win at the end. And so I feel like I'm very passionate about your child is going to achieve a win and a victory if all of the team players that are playing for them talk and communicate. Okay, so the way I do that in my classroom, I just send home a daily take-home folder, and it goes in each student's backpack every day, and it's nothing elaborate, it's nothing lengthy. On one side of the sheet is my input, on the other side of the sheet is the parent input, and the sheets look different every year depending on the child's schedule and my schedule, but it's very doable, it's very practical, and in my mind, it's necessary. I think that it should be done every day. Now, once in a blue moon, something's going to happen. We might have a fire drill at the very end of the day, and the folder got left on the table, or something's always going to happen. Okay, so 99% of the time, it's going to be filled out and it's going to be complete. And when your child gets off the bus at the end of the day or gets in the car at the end of the day, you're going to be able to know the little victories that were achieved or the little struggles that maybe went on during the day. And that's going to help you extend that child's day in a more progressive way, because you're going to be able to come along beside your teacher and continue with what went on during that day. On the flip side of that, it's so beneficial to teachers when parents can share what went on at home the night before, or what went on in the car on the way to school. If it's something that the teachers need to know, if they were up all night the night before with a stomach ache, or had a bad dream, maybe that explains why we can't stay awake at the table. If they had anxiety on the way to school, it would just really benefit the teacher to know that. Also, we need to share in the good things. I would love to know if my student who has been struggling with speech and with talking, if that student was able to communicate with their mom the night before by saying some words that we've never heard. That's actually happened with me, and the mom shared it, and it just made my day, because we're a team. We're on the same team. We're not opposing, we're on the same team, and our end goal is the same, and that's victory for your child. Now, I just want to encourage you as a parent to give your teacher some grace. If you're a teacher watching this, I want to encourage you to give the parents some grace. We all need to give the kids some grace. At the beginning of every school year, it's different. We know that. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard on everybody. So let's just expect at the beginning of every year just to give each other some grace, and just know that it's going to get better. Have the same goal in mind. Know that we're going to mess up. You know what, as a teacher, I'm going to fumble the ball sometimes for your child, but you know what? I'm going to pick that ball back up and I'm going to try to run with everything I have the next day. And I know as a parent, you're going to mess up. I know you are. You know you are. I mess up as a parent. So teachers need to give parents some grace and know that the next day is a new day. And let's just start all over. Let's start over. Let's don't hold a grudge. On any side of the table, parent, teacher, students, no holding a grudge. It's a new day. Let's be positive and let's start over. Just be encouraged, parents, that this may not be the journey that you set out for as a parent. It may not be the journey for your child that you had in mind. But that doesn't mean that it has to be a bad journey. It doesn't mean that you can't embrace it. Embrace it with everything you have. And I promise you, it can be a beautiful, beautiful thing. You will meet people on this journey that you may not have met otherwise on another journey. Just know that your child is going to open your eyes in ways that you never could have imagined. And just know that it can be a beautiful thing and that you can embrace it. Tomorrow's a new day, and let's just all be on the same journey and on the same team for our child. And they will receive a win. They will be victorious.